If it's October, which it is, then it must be ADHD Awareness Month, which it is. And if it's ADHD Awareness Month, it must be time for TADD Talks from Ada. They're like TED Talks, but shorter, because ADHD. And this year, they're all about executive function. You know, that front part of our big ADHD brain that helps us activate, plan, and prioritize. Remember what we're doing, if we're following through or not. It's your chance to hear from 31 different experts. This particular TAD Talk is part of a special 4-part Activate Your Potential series for Black and Indigenous women of color with ADHD. It's being brought to you every Wednesday in October by Supernus Pharmaceuticals for ADHD Awareness Month. Let's listen in.
Hi everyone, I'm Victoria Novaro. I could tell you a lot of things about myself, but you can just look me up on LinkedIn or read my bio. We only have 9 minutes, so let's just enjoy this time together. I have high IQ, ADHD, dyslexia. Guess this makes me very exceptional? I prefer to just refer to myself as, well, me, just me, with all my colors, academic degrees, strengths, and weaknesses. I also write and illustrate books for children and adults young at heart. Let me share a story that began 52 years ago in a zoo in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Something really amazing was happening within the elephant's cage. A baby elephant was coming into this world. Eyes wide open, long trunk, big butt, and yes, flapping jumbo ears. In the beginning, she looked just like all the other baby elephants in the zoo. She loved peanuts, yet was oddly allergic to them. She wasn't very fast. Well, I'm an elephant, right? You're not supposed to be fast. She was not as good as her older brothers and sisters in getting to the tall branches. Maybe when I grow up, she thought. Baby elephant was quite dreamy, always thinking of new ways to do things. Why? Her mother asked one day. You should just follow the herd. The ones that precede you will tell you what to do. Be still, be quiet, obey. But why? Said baby elephant. Maybe there are better ways to do things. Because it is just the way things are done in this world, Mama said. Yet elephant kept looking things her way, what brought her many screams from Mama and bad looks from Father. This is how she got her name, Mala Mía, that in Spanish means my bad. Yet she was mostly left alone in her world of colors, inventions, trials, and errors. Till the first day of training school arrived. Mala Mía was so happy she couldn't think of anything better to do than learn, be with other animals, and share life. Remember, said Mother and Father, be still, be quiet, obey. Mala Mía went on her way, long trunk full speed ahead, flapping ears in the wind, big butt and all. She was quite fast. What got her a, so you can be quick when you want to, huh? Just not for your course, I guess, from Mama. She saw many other animals similar to her in age. Oddly, they were all standing in line, neatly, quietly, attentive to the professor. You are late, Professor said to Mala Mía. Really? Mala Mía answered, but the sun hasn't reached the sky yet. All the other animals looked terrified, shushing her to silence. Quiet, the professor said. Didn't your parents raise you right? What do we do here at training school, students? Be still, be quiet, obey, all the animals repeated. But how are we supposed to learn? Mala Mía asked. Now everyone really looked petrified. I see. You're Mala Mía. I know all about you, Professor said. Really? So you know I love colors, experiments, trials and errors? Mala Mía asked. Be still, be quiet, obey, Professor screamed at her. Mala Mía realized she should be still, she should be quiet, and definitely she should obey. Yet, for some odd reason, she just could not. I will not be still, I will not be quiet, and I will not obey. How will I learn this way? She asked. Well, long story short, Mala Mía lived most of the rest of her early school days tied to a pole in the yard. The other animals made fun of her or just ignored her. In the early years of training school, Malamia tried to pull and push away from the post, but she was too tired, too little, too weak, too slow. By the third year, Malamia just stopped trying. Even if other animals called her to play, she stood by her pole. Even when someone forgot to tie her up, she just stood by that pole and was still, quiet, and obeyed. And that was how she got her new nickname, Perfecta. Guess an English translation is not needed, huh? Perfecta was just that, perfect. She became so still, no one realized she was there. Absolutely quiet unless she was spoken to. She obeyed everyone else but herself. She stopped seeing in colors. Experiments and trials became really scary for her. What if she failed? She never failed. She could not fail. So Perfecta grew older. She was still not fast. She was still allergic to peanuts. She had long ago stopped trying to get to the higher branches. April 2000. Something amazing was happening at a zoo in Chicago. Perfecta had a baby. He looked just like the other baby elephants. He loved colors and experiments, trials, and errors. He was really fast for an elephant, clumsy though. He was also allergic to peanuts. He couldn't get to the higher branches either. So she called him Malo Mio, my bad. Be still, be quiet, obey, Perfecta told him as he left for his very first day of training school. She was summoned by the principal by the very first mid-morning. Malo Mio was standing in the blazing sun. All the rest of the animals laughing at him. His leg tied to the same pole. What happened? Malo Mio asked. I told him to be still, be quiet and obey, a younger professor said. Why didn't you? Malo Mio asked his son. How will I learn that way, Mom? He asked. Learn what, my boy? Malo Mio asked. Learn how to get to the higher branches, to get to the fruit for the rest of the animals to eat during break time. It's my job as an elephant to do this. This is what my trunk is for, and my strength. I am not as fast as Bunny. I cannot swim like Dolphin. I cannot climb like a tree like Monkey does. Yet I learn how to do my job as an elephant. That's why I come to training school for, right, Mom? Something just broke inside Perfecta. And Malo Mio just stomped out. Big ears flapping in the wind, long trunk flaring, big eyes red with fury. You are strong, my boy, Malo Mio. Pull and push and free yourself. Yet he couldn't. Malo Mio tried to help too, but she was not as strong as she used to be. And suddenly, as they pulled and pulled, Malo Mio felt the power of many animals that had come to the rescue of Malo Mio. They pulled, pushed, chewed, and did whatever each animal does until Malo Mio was free. Dolphins, zebras, squirrels, unicorns. Wait, is that my old professor? Thought Malo Mio. Yes, I have a Malo Mio of my own. I learned a thing or two, the professor said. What about the rest of my friends? Malo Mio asked. They will not learn if they are still quiet and obey. You're right, my boy. We need to free them all, Malo Mio said. But that, my dear listeners and friends, is for another day. For now, let me just assure you that without the whole village helping us, we will not reach our potential. Our kids won't either. So it is time to own our true colors, embrace ourselves just as we are, and stomp forward to the lives we dream for ourselves and our loved ones. We need every animal, every person doing whatever they do to free first ourselves, our children, our village, our world. So what happened to Malo Mio and her 4 beautiful, completely exceptional sons? They lived happily ever after with their very exceptional, in his neurotypical way, dad, learning what it means to be, well, just them. Getting better every day in their quest for the highest branches, because that's what we do, right? Each of us has the potential to reach out for the stars and share them with the rest of us. Remember, just be you. Every other person is already taken.
This TAD Talk is part of a special 4-part Activate Your Potential series for Black and Indigenous women of color with ADHD.